Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold on now. Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I think it goes something like this. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Cause every time I turn around, there's something trying to keep me down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Whoa, can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. When I look up, don't you know, burdens knocking at my door. So won't you come and take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Oh, come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Somebody come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Soon as I get up off the ground, my burdens knock me right back down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Oh, off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Get them off of me, off of me. Come and break the chain. Come and break the chain. Get it off of me. Get it off of me. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody to get this burden. To get this burden. Can somebody take these burdens off of me?
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the infamous Slide channel. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, guys, I will be reading the transcript from January 31st, 2023 for Earnest William. This is the charges that I think were dropped, but then I guess were picked up again, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to read the transcript for you guys. Let me go ahead on and bring up a copy of it so you guys can see that it's an actual transcript. All right, here we go. You guys can see that. Let me go ahead and put my little brand marker on here. All right, so I put my brand marker on here, and you see it occurred on the let me make it lighter. Hold on. Let's see if it's lighter. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah. So I'm gonna read it from my laptop. I'm just gonna keep it on the first page on this, and I'm reading it from my laptop, which will make it easier for me to be able to see it. Okay, you guys ready? All right. It says here, the state of Georgia versus Earnest William. Case number 22 SC 184403. Theft by taken, operation of credit repair services, and theft by deception. That's and this is a bond hearing. And this is a bond hearing transcript proceeding in the above entitled and number cause heard by the in person by the Honorable Judge Belinda E. Edwards. And it was done at the Fulton County Court at on January 31st at 9:30 a.m. And the appearance that was there at the court for this hearing was, on behalf of the state, was Kevin Majinski and Jonathan Solomon, Esquire. On behalf of the defendant, which is Earnest Williams, was Crail Lewis, Crail A. Lewis. Let us begin. I'm going to try to do the different voices. If I'm not able to do the different voices, um, I'll go back to being regular. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Is everybody sleeping in here? Thank you, Nona. Nona is the only one that's awake. Thank you, Nona. All right, here we go. Thank you, Pepperoni. All right, this is from the hearing, okay? And let's start. I'm gonna start it with the judge, and I'm gonna be the judge. The judge is a woman, and I'm gonna do the voices of the men. I'm gonna try my hardest. Okay? This is indictment 22SC 184403. Ernest William, the defendant, is present with his attorney, and presenting the state is Kevin Majeski, judge, and Jonathan Solomon. All right. Thank you. So the calendar reflects that we are here for a bond hearing, bond motion, and other motions. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. Bond motion, Judge. Just bond motion? Just bond? Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, that was the state's understanding today. It was to be a bond hearing today, Judge. I'm trying to do the different voices, okay, y'all? I just hope I remember the voices, okay? All right. I want to be clear. I thought I heard something else through the rumor mill. Are there any preliminary matters before we get started? None. You're from the state. No, Judge. Are there any potential witnesses in the courtroom? There are, Judge. We'll be invoking the rule of sequentiation. I am, Judge. All right. So, anyone who is going to be called as a witness, you have to step outside the courtroom. And when you are called, you will come back in. So, if you are going to be a witness for either the defendants or the state, you have to step outside the courtroom now. All right? Are there any preliminary matters that we need to get to before we start? Yes, Judge. One, just so I don't shock the court. Judge, I've never practiced in front of you that I can remember. It's the norm. Thank you. Well, I'm visually impaired. So, from time to time, you're going to hear the squeaking voice back here. That's my visual assistant. That's Maria Hill, my paralegal. So I call on her to read out the case number and some things like that. But I want you to know who she is. I don't want you to say, why is that hearing in the courtroom? Not a problem. As long as the court reporter can hear and understand, it's not a problem. Perfect. Thank you, Judge. Nothing on behalf of the state, Judge. Is there there's no more preliminary matters. When you may proceed, then you may proceed. Mr. Lewis? Thank you, Judge. Do you want me to stand or be seated, Judge? It determines by the court reporter. It's determined by the court reporter. If she can hear you seated, then you can remain seated. If the mic is on, it's your preference. I'll let her tell me what to do, Judge. Judge, I'm going to start with just a preliminary statement before I call the two witnesses that I have in this particular matter. My client is Ernest William, spelled Earnest, middle initial L, as in Larry, Williams Jr. He is seated here by my right. Mr. William was arrested on two matters on July the 7th of last year. One of those matters was given a bond, and the other one was not given a bond. There is no restriction in the law that I saw that precluded the magistrate sitting at first appearance giving Mr. William a bond on both matters. While Mr. William was in custody on those first two matters, at several times, the police added additional warrant against Mr. William. Somebody just text me. Sorry, y'all. Why are people texting me when I'm busy? My bad, y'all. Sorry. Let me turn my phone down. Oh, gosh. I'm going to start where I left off. While Mr. William was in custody on those first two matters, at several times, the police added additional warrants against Mr. William. And because of those additional warrants, Mr. William has a total now of 6 cases that appears in the system. 2 of those cases are ending in 402, which is on the top of my motion that I filed, and one ending in 403, which the court announced upon taking the bench today are already docket before you. The other 4 matters should come before, hold on a second, should come before you since they have Mr. William named as a defendant if the state goes forward on them. So that means they haven't been indicted yet? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. I brought that matter of my motions to you involving the 402 case, which didn't have a bond on it, and one of the unindicted cases because, according to the law, you got jurisdiction over them. Uniform Superior Court Rule 3.3 says they should be yours. I understand that the court employs another process where it allows unindicted cases of a certain type to go before the judges sitting in a special designation. But the authorities rest with you. As long as Mr. Williams, since he is now already indicted to you. And so that is the reason I brought the case to you. Just a preamble. Before I bring the 2 witnesses to testify, Judge, what prompt to bring these matters to you is because of Aloya versus State in OCGA 17-6-1E. Both state statutes, as well as the case law in this state, address a person who is a defendant and the nature of the crimes that he is being accused of. And both the case law and the statute says that a defendant, a person who is accused but not convicted until the state meets its burden, has the presumption that he should receive a bond unless there is a factor that exists that the court feels or believes would prevent them from getting a bond. In the complaint case that I have before you, he's accused of conspiracy. I'm sorry. He's accused of, in essence, of being part of a crime involving conspiracy. Two, he's accused of 5 acts of that in that one complaint. 2 of them, the judge have a $10,000 bond on each, meaning a total of 20. And the other 3 acts, the judge have no bond on. Let me see. Stop right. You're right. Here. Because I want to be clear. First, I want to be clear on the unindicted case that you appear to be saying to me you want a bond set for the indicted cases as well as the unindicted cases that I have not already had bond set? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, for the record, then we need to have all of these cases on the record. And in addition, I need to have the state stating that they have no objection to this being global request for bond for the indicted cases that are before me and the unindicted cases that are before me that do not have a bond on them. Yes, ma'am. I'm forgetting the voice, y'all. Yes, ma'am. So, with respect to one of the unindicted cases, it is already a matter of record. It was my motion that I filed that I did serve a copy upon the state. And with respect to the other matter, Judge, when he came before you last remotely, both myself, I mentioned the fact. Wow, we getting text messages while I'm live. Lord have mercy. How do I silence this? How do I silence this, y'all? I keep getting text messages. It's on my computer. How do I silence it? Please, somebody help. I'm getting text messages. I thought I told people don't text while I'm on live, but they doing it anyway. iPhone people, how do I silence my laptop? How do I silence my laptop? Because I keep getting text messages. Help! She says she has no idea. Okay. Oh my God, how do I silence them? Let me see if I can turn the volume off. Let's do it that way. Okay, let's see if it work. My apologies, y'all. Somebody was texting and it was ringing on. There's a group chat that I'm in, and they're texting left and right, and this keeps messing up my stuff here. Okay, let me go back up. Okay, he says, Mr. Lewis is talking. I'm not answering it. It's not me answering it. It's coming through here. You already said you don't know, so okay. Nobody's answering it. Let me go ahead and do this. Excuse me. All right. Yes, ma'am. So, with respect with one of the unindicted cases, it's already a matter of records. Okay, I already read that one. Hold on. Let's go down. The state says, and judge, this is the state, y'all. Gotta do country voice. And judge, if I can interject really quick to address what the court has said just a second ago. In fact, Mr. Lewis is correct. We did state when he appeared for a plea and arraignment, he is due a bond on 3 charges in this particular matter. And we have no objection to a global hearing of these bonds today, too. I'll settle the matter. I think kind of us moving forward as well as global. Cooper, it's on my it's not the phone. It's on the computer. It's on my laptop. My laptop is the one that's pinging. The laptop is pinging because it's all connected with my iPhone. But I mean, I muted it. Let's just hope it doesn't come through with the mute. All right, the judge. Okay, this is the list that I have. The current case is 22SC184403. Then the other indicted case is 22SC184402. The unindicted case are 22CP12100500, CC 22CP211078, 22CP212559, and 23CP215407. That's correct, Judge. Between you and the prosecutor, Judge, you have got rid of half of the request time that I needed. Thank you. That's correct, Judge. That's everything I have as well. All right. That having been said, Judge, I have terminate the rest of the prima ample and move on straight to witnesses. Proceed. Did the state want to make any statement before he calls his witnesses? No statement at this time, Judge. All right. Who is your first witness? You want me to finish it? I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish. Okay. I didn't know that you wanted me to do. So, in summary, we're asking the court to make a modification to one of the bonds because the bond order that was issued by the state leaves off persons that the state wants my client to have no contact with and also exclude him having contact with his own wife. I think it's a okay. Listen, I'm getting ready to delete this person. My apologies. I'm banning this person from my channel. Okay. Um, but I wasn't there when that actually occurred. The rest of the bond matter, Judge, are those that we are simply need a dollar amount placed on it so that he can move forward. And I am all ready to call my first witness. All right. Thank you. Judge, defendant called Lamont Earl. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth to help you, God? I do. You may have a seat. First, for the record, go ahead and state your first name and last name and spell it as well. Earl. Earl. Last name Dunbar. Dunbar. Mr. Lewis begins asking him questions. Mr. Lamont L., I want you to continue to use that outside voice for the benefit of the court reporter, okay? Okay. You've been giving us the spelling of your last name. Spell your first name, please. Earl. Spell your last name for me, please. Dunbar. Sir, are you familiar with the person who is seated next to me? Yes, I am. Who is that? Nesto. Yes, and how long have you known this young man? About 20 years. Where you do where do you reside? Meaning what in what city and state? I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Have you resided in Atlanta, Georgia all those 20 years? Yes. Tell the court what you know about Nesto's family and other ties to this city and this state. For the record, Nesto is the defendant. That's who you're referring to, correct? Yes, ma'am. All right, you may proceed. Can you repeat that question again? Yes, sir, I can. Tell the court, if you will, what you know about Nesto's tie to this city and this state. Well, I know him as a business owner to own several shops here in the local area. For the last 20 years, that's what I've known of him, to have several different businesses. Okay. What kind of businesses or shop? I'm familiar with the 24-hour barbershop, the other barbershop located in Buckhead and the street of Buckhead. Okay. What about family in the state? As far as his wife and children? Yes. I'm familiar with his children, Dion, and I'm familiar with his wife, Shirley. Wonderful. During the 20-year period time, do you know Nesto have committed any felony? No, I don't. Is it that your understanding is he is a felon? I wasn't aware of that. And you said his children's name is Dion? Is that a son or a daughter? A son. And you yourself, sir, do you engage in any business dealing with Nesto? Or are you just an acquaintance? Acquaintance. Mr. Lewis, move. A moment. One moment, Your Honor. Okay. Are you familiar with any other types of charitable activity or things engaged by Nesto? Well, he had some charitable events in the local area for the homeless and that sort of thing. Can you describe one of those He had a free haircut charitable event for homeless people. Okay. Now, I have one clarifying question. You mentioned that he owned barbershop. You defined two of them. Is he the barber or is he the owner of the shop? Well, he's the owner as far as I know. I've seen him cut hair a cut before, but that was only at the 24-hour barber shop. I've seen him maybe once or twice cut, but as I know, he's the owner. May I ask you, what's your profession? What profession are you in, sir? Technology. So this is not Lamont, y'all. Oh, oh, this is Lamont, right? This is Lamont. I was thinking about the other one. This is Lamont, y'all. He's in technology, y'all. Technology, as in things like the Geomas TV that's in there. Information system. Understood. Thank you. No further question. That was it. That was all the question he had. Oh Lord. Okay, the judge says, any question from the states? And the state said, only one, Judge. Cross examine. Mr. Majewski says, was it Mr. Dunbar? Lamont Earl Dunbar? Yes. I want to make sure I got this right. Sir, how did you meet Mr. William? Through a mutual friend. Where was that you met him? Buckhead. Nothing else, Judge. The judge says, anything else from the defense counsel for this witness? No, Your Honor. All right. I want to thank you for coming. You are officially excused, which means you can leave the courtroom or you may remain. You can remain. It's your choice. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense call Mr. Dion Williams. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Yes. Have a seat. Now go ahead and state and spell your first name and last name. My name is Trinantia. I don't know how to say that name. Tronta. Williams. Mr. William, I would like to know, I would like you to continue to use the outside voice while you're testifying so that the court reporter can hear you clearly. Okay? Yes, sir. Thank you very much for spelling your first name. Apparently, I've been calling you the wrong name. Everybody does. That's fine. Mr. William, do you know this young man who's sitting next to me? Yes, sir. Who is he? My father. How old are you, sir? 33. Does he have any other children? Yes, sir. He do. How many? 5 others. Where do you live? In what city and state? Atlanta, Georgia. What about the other 5? They're all in the metropolitan Atlanta area. So in Georgia? Yes, sir. but all around the different cities around Atlanta, including Atlanta, like Cobb, Atlanta, DeKalb, those areas. Thank you, sir. Is he married? Yes, sir. Is he a convicted felon? Yes, sir. How long have you known him? Since I was 13, 20 years. And how did you come to know he was your father? My mother introduced us. Wow, y'all. Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? He didn't know his father till he was 13. Did y'all hear that? Mm, mm, mm. Um, his mom introduced him. During the 20 years that you have known him, have you known him to engage first? Strike that. Strike that. You know him to be a convicted felon, correct? Yes, sir. During the 20 years that you've known him, do you know him to have engaged in any felonies activities? Meaning, did you see him or hear about him doing a felony? I have not seen him do a felony. I have heard about him doing a felony. Uh oh. Uh oh. Did y'all hear? He said he didn't see it, but he heard he did a felony. And is the a felony that occurred in the last, let's say, 15 years? No, sir. Now, is he married to your mom? No, sir. Is he married? Yes, sir. And what state does he live? Georgia. Has he lived in the state of Georgia continuously? Yes, sir. How does he earn a living that you know of? Well, he has a security company. He has a multiple barbershop. Now, since you kind of suggest that you were an adult, may I ask you what kind of work are you engaged in? I'm a barber. I have my own clothesline. I'm sorry. That outside voice, please. I'm a barber. I have my own clothing line. Thank you, sir. Now, what kind of businesses do you know him? I heard you say a security company and several barbershops. Yes, sir. Is he a barber? On and off. He picks who he likes to cut. Not on, off, but he picks the particular clients that he cuts. He's a finicky person. Thank you, sir. Now, have you ever known him to do anything with the community? Yes, sir. Can you tell a court about it? He tends to want to give people help. He gives out clothes, he gives out advice, he gives out shelter, he gives out opportunity. You just covered three things there. I want to go back and dig in at least two of them. When you say he gives out opportunity, explain to us. Explain that for us. If you don't have a job, he'll try to find a way to get you one. If not, he'll give you one himself, even if it's just taking out the trash. And when you say he gives out advice other than to you, does he do that in an organized sort of fashion? Or does he just do it like me and stand in the corner and tells people that he's what he's thinking? Not I'm not gonna even lie. He does both. Have you ever known him to participate in any organization that do charitable work? Yes. He has taken me to an event with him to speak to youth at a ranch. Oh, that's Steve Harvey. You know that, right, y'all? He said it was at a ranch. You know that's Steve Harvey, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, right. In Georgia? Yes, sir. And what and that ranch where you spoke, he took you to, is that an opportunity or is it at an advice? Or is that giving away of clothes? What's going on there? With this particular situation, it was a bunch of young kids, youth wise. I told you I was Steve Harvey's thing. Didn't I tell you? I told you. Told you. Both people. um. Okay. Oh, sorry. We went down to talk to them about life. You know, most people don't listen. Most people do. It's just depends on the type of group you're talking to, and to the people that's talking to them. Your Honor, no further question for this witness. Anything from the state? Just one question, Judge. Mr. Majeski comes up. Mr. Williams. Yes, sir. Hold on, I forgot my voice. Sorry. Mr. Williams. Yes, sir. It's Trentanite. Trenanita. Whatever the name. I don't know. Sorry. So, all of Mr. Williams' children reside here in Georgia. Is that your testimony? That's say that one more time. All of Mr. Williams' children reside here in Georgia. Is that your testimony? Yes. Thank you very much. Anything else from defense counsel for this witness? Yes. Just to redirect. Mr. Lewis comes back up to him. I understood your testimony to be that you reside in Georgia and 5 other children reside in Georgia, in the metropolitan Atlanta. Yes, sir. I would be the 6th child. And do you know that the 6th child, all of his children? Huh? Do you know that 6 children are all of his children? Okay. We all look alike. So he's asking him, do we know that for a fact that all the children belong to Nestor? So he said we all look alike. So I guess that's the understanding they have. He says, okay, I understand. Let me clarify. I'm not attacking that you are 6 are his children. Are you saying that he doesn't have any other children at all? No, sir. He has a stepchild that's I don't know. That's considered your child? Um is that considered your child? He's asking the attorney that question. So I guess he forgot about um Shirley's child. So he had to ask the attorney that question. And the attorney says, it's whatever you want it to be while you're on testifying. Yes, he has 7 children then, if you include the stepchild. Okay, that you know of. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Any other question from the state? Nothing from the state. Nothing from the state. Judge, I want to thank you for your coming today. You're officially excused, which means you can remain in the courtroom or you are free to leave the building. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Anything else from the defense counsel? Just proffered, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm going to proffer that the court the following 2 things. Mr. Williams' wife reside in Atlanta, Georgia. The document that I have shown to the state is a document that is actually requested to show that his wife reside in Atlanta, Georgia. It is her lease. I'm not going to articulate the address of loud in the court would permit not to do so, as she is a celebrity, some celebrity status that we don't want to have any problem with tendering it to the record if the court desires. So this would be defendant exhibit 1. Yes, judge. Any objection? None. I will say this. We did ask that she reside in Georgia, that they provide us ahead of time. Could look. This is the first time I'm seeing it today. I understand why this is being proffered to prove residency, but I couldn't actually attest that she lives there at this point. So I'm going to object since we hadn't been able to look into it, Judge. Okay. So I would note your objection. I will allow it. Now you can look into and come back and tell us if we're wrong. Understood. Thank you, Judge. All right. Mr. Lewis, and Your Honor. Mr. Lewis says, and Your Honor, I'm not one of those people that hides the ball. The state did not receive it before now because I received it at 8:54 p.m. last night. So this is my first communication with the state. Duly noted, the judge says. Thank you, Your Honor. I would further state my client is 58 years old of age, born on January 9th, 1967. He is a graduate of Richmond High School, Richmond Academy, which is a high school in Augusta, Georgia. As I earlier stated, the court, of course, will be able to obtain this from its own resources. My client is a convicted felon. He has been convicted in the late 80s of one count of armed robbery. And then later on in the 90s, a second count of armed robbery. The second sentence was served concurrent with the federal sentence, wherein he is the recipient of a fraudulent check. He has one matter involving theft. I don't recall specifically whether it's theft by receiving or something else from the 1980s. And one failure to appear that I have seen in his record occurred while he was in federal prison. He has an active warrant, judge, and holdout in Henry County, Georgia area. I've been informed by the sources that I have no doubt that he has a warrant out of California. That the state of California decided not to extradite upon, and that that is the end of my proffer, Judge. The judge says, "All right, thank you. Anything from the state? Y'all ready for the state?" Yes, this is January 21st, no, 31st, January 31st, 2023. All right, let's go. It's right there on the screen. Mr. Majestic is going up. He says, state. Yes, Judge. We have one witness that we will be calling on today. And if I can start with a brief overview, his history, and his GCIC for the court. So I have a full picture of what he's here for. If that would be allowable, I'll do it first. The judge says, sure. So he got 19 cycles in Georgia, Judge. One federal cycle, 1988, where there was a felony theft by receiving. These were all guilty, by the way. The only one I am reading off conviction
That was in Fulton County in 1989. Probation violation in 1991. A theft by taking and theft by receiving, both felonies, was in DeKalb County. 1989, theft by taking, felony guilty, and that was in Fulton County. 1990, felony, theft by taking, armed robbery, theft by receiving, possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Those were all in Cobb County, 1991. Theft by taking and theft by receiving, both felonies. These were in Gwinnett County. 1992, there was a misdemeanor false name conviction in DeKalb County. 1992, abandonment of a minor child in Cobb County. 1992, another armed robbery received 10 years in custody that was in Douglas County. 2004, there was a FTA. 2006, false statement and abandonment of a minor in Cobb County. 2006, there is another FTA. And his federal conviction was in 2005, Judge. And his sentence received for that was 37 months custody time. And then the rest was supervised release, Judge, and that is his history from his GCIC and from the federal history. At this time, Judge, the state would like to call Detective Natalie Field to the stand, Judge. Judge says, I have one question. Yes, Judge. As we sit here today, is he on any kind of probation or any kind of up to your knowledge? Mr. Majeski says, no, not any probation or parole as of this time today. I should mention this too. I didn't mention this earlier. So he is in A and C recidivist. He does have 2 felonies, death warrant out of California. We have both report on those, as well as Mr. Lewis indicates those are non-extradition. They were from LA County. Sheriff Department, both of those involve vehicle thefts. Where the vehicle was allegedly transported back to Atlanta as well. So both of those felonies, theft warrants in California, has a connection here. Defendant used any alias. He used at least 6 social, date of birth, and many of those. So he used others. Okay, let's go. 2 of his conviction in Fulton County, I can tell, are under an alias as well. When he tracked back, any further question, Judge? The judge says, no, that's all. Mr. Michinsky is right. At this time, the state would like to call Detective Natalie Fields to the stand. And then the deputy swears her in. The deputy says, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. And she says, I do. Have a seat. For the record, go ahead and state first and last name and spell it as well. The witness says. And then Miss Detective Natalie says, yes, sir. My name is Natalie. Natalie. Last name, Fields. Fields. Good morning, Detective. I forgot my voice. Okay, I gotta go back. Good morning, Detective Fields?
Good morning.
Where are you employed?
I'm employed with the Roswell Police Department.
What is your job at the Roswell Police Department?
I'm currently a detective in the Special Investigation Section.
And during your tenure at the Roswell Police Department, have you had a chance to investigate Mr. Ernest William?
Yes, I have.
Do you see Mr. Ernest William in this courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please identify him with an article of clothing?
Yes, he has on orange jumpsuit.
Thank you. Now, during the course of your investigation, have you had a chance to run across the name Lamont Earl Dunbar?
Yes, I have.
During the course of your investigation, were you at the time able to determine how they met?
Yes, I was able to by a victim that they met.
Objection, hearsay. Okay. Were you able Were you any time during the course of your investigation able to determine whether or not Mr. Dunbar had any knowledge of Mr. William is a felon?
Yes,
And what did he have any knowledge if he was a felon?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't hear the question. I just asked he have any knowledge that he was a felon. I heard that one. The follow-up question. I didn't hear the follow-up. The follow-up question was, did he have any knowledge that he was a felon? Is that the same question, Judge? I asked if she had opportunity to determine whether or not that Mr. Dunbar knew he was a felon. And then I'm just asking the outcome of the investigation as the follow-up.
So you asked, this is the judge talking, y'all. So you asked at some point, did she asserted that Mr. Dunbar became aware of Mr. William as a felon? She answered in the affirmative. So now you need to ask your next question.
I'll move on. Now, are you able to determine during the course of your investigation whether or not Mr. Dunbar had any business tied with Mr. William?
Yes.
And what type of business tie, if any, were you able to ascertain?
So during the investigation, they were very long-term friends. And according to victim's testimony, he has been fraudulent.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Judge, this is a bond hearing. These type of statements, collective knowledge of law enforcement, they're allowable in this type of hearing. They're here where there wouldn't be any in a trial. They are here.
I'm sorry, Judge. Maybe the court knows here in the law, maybe the court knows where the law is. I know it is a preliminary hearing, but not in a bond hearing, the judge says. So, if you can give us a case law to support your position that hearsay is allowable in bond. The judge is asking Mr. Majeski that he needs to submit a case law that states that that hearsay should be permitted in this hearing. Okay, this is what the judge says to him. And then he goes on, he says, I don't have one on me. Oh, so he doesn't have one, y'all. So he's saying he's gonna move on. He says, I'll move on, Judge. And the judge says, okay. Mr. Majeski's gone to his next question. He says,
Were you able to find any knowledge direct to you that you were able to directly obtain that they had any business relations?
and then Natalie says, currently, no.
Now, did you have an opportunity to investigate Mr. Williams' finances?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any income from any type of barbershop business in his finances?
No.
Were you able to find any information of charitable donations?
No.
Were you able to find any information about any of his children, Mr. William, that he resides outside the state of Georgia?
No. Income? No.
No. Were you able to find any information about Mr. William? Does he have any children who reside outside the state of Georgia?
Yes.
What state do they reside in?
Currently, California.
What type of income, if any, for Mr. William were you able to find during the course of your investigation?
There have been multiple Vimo transactions into his bank account from various victims that.
So, I'm going to ask you to slow down.
Start over. The witness says, yes. Sure, yes. There are multiple transactions that I've been through Vimo and Zelle. And multiple victims, some that have charges that are pending charges for 1,500. There are also multiple transactions of money that his wife coming into his account, Miss Shirley Strawberry. They told the name there.
Now, during the course of your investigation, we'll go back to this one more time. In terms of barbershop business, were you able to identify during the course of the investigation any location that he ever ran a barbershop out of?
So there was a location in Buckhead which he was not able, he stopped paying the rent on and was evicted from that. And other than that, I have not seen or found a location currently in the most current years.
When was that?
I'm sorry?
When was he evicted?
2021, I believe. I would have to check back on the proceeding.
But you weren't able to identify any income from that business?
No, sir.
Mr. Majestic asked, just 1 second, Judge.
Mr. Solomon was able to come up with an answer on your previous question. Mrs. Lewis said, I'm sorry? I don't remember what was it. That's what the judge says. Mr. Majewski says, your answer about the bond, the applicability of hearsay at bond hearing. Okay. Mr. Solomon?
Yes, Judge. So, Judge, OCGA 24-1-2, which discusses the ability of the rules of evidence and just subsection C, the rule of evidence except with the respect of to privilege shall not apply to the following situation. And then if you go down, it's listed a bunch of different situations. One of which subsection 6 says proceedings which respects to release of on bond. So the rule of evidence and bond hearing don't apply except to privileges, just per the statute itself.
All right.
Uh, I don't know if we're going to go that route. That's what the law says.
Continue to search and see if we can find a case on point. That's what the judge told him. Just any case that can cite where that someone has applied for that. Okay?
Okay, I'll look for a case. I was just reading the statute.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You, and if you want to pursue it, so be it. We'll note that objection.
That is something I would proceed. If the court would give me a moment to look into, Judge.
Okay. This is a judge saying, okay. If it's that's something I would proceed. Um, okay, that was what he said. Hold on. I'm losing my spot, y'all. Oh, y'all, we done. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, we're done. Okay, wait, hold on. This is the last page, y'all. This is the last page. Okay. This is the last statement. Ms. Justice says, that is something I would proceed if the court would give us a moment to look it up. And the judge says, okay, I will, if you can continue with the questions, we'll come back to that. If you have another question, Majestic says, let me see, there's anything else I have in this witness here. Nothing further at this time, Judge.
Well, leave it alone now and keep it moving.
And the judge says, Mr. Lewis, do you have any questions? And Mr. Lewis says, just one. I hope it's only one question, Judge. And then he goes in. Detective, we have heard in this court about the conviction for Mr. William, who sits next to me. Have you testified today on the direct that you saw income in Mr. Williams' account from a victim? What year was the income transaction that you saw? The year would be 2021, moving into 2022. Mr. Lewis says, Judge, I move the court to, and then it ends.
All right, guys, that was the end. Part one. Part two will continue tomorrow
Because that was page 36 on that one.
So that was me with my many voices. Did you like Mr. Solomon?
I was trying to do him really fast, the way he was talking. So that was the my reenactment, guys. You think I could get a job doing voiceover? What do you think? I just got to remember whose part I'm playing. So, any questions, good people? That was the bond hearing from January 31st, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. with Judge Edwards. Any questions do you have of me? You guys been sitting here nice and quiet like good little students listening to me read this bond hearing. Lady Coltrane. Okay, y'all don't have any questions? Y'all some party poopers. All right.
The voices were funny. I was trying my hardest to try because I got kind of mixed up with who I was talking about. But all right, so tomorrow we'll continue the other parts of this. All right, so you guys know I have to get my they did their job establishing he wasn't a flight risk. But they gave him bond for everything. He got bond for everything. It's just high bond, but he got bond for everything. Ready for the trial begin with this case. I don't. They're not even gonna start trial because what they're going to do is like they're gonna do arraignment. They're gonna do another bond hearing. Um, that's what's gonna happen on Wednesday. That's what's gonna happen on Wednesday. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. You're welcome, Tristy. You are so welcome, my dear. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are so welcome. All right, guys. I'll check you guys later. God bless y'all. Bye. They gave him high bond to keep him in jail. Let's see. Bye, nurse. See you later, nurse. I'll be ready for part 2. Yeah, part 2. Just remind me with the voices I have. I know that guy, Mr. Majeski, got a southern accent, and the detective is going to have that soft voice. You know, that's that low soft voice. Am I able to get on the other channel? Yeah, I'm gonna get on the other channel. I have one more thing to do. I'm supposed to be reading the P Diddy stuff. That I think how many pages does P Diddy thing have on it? Hold on, let me see how many pages P Diddy has. But that one is like so like weird. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to the next channel. All right, good night. Good night, good people. Good night. I need an ending song for this one. Hold on. Bye, y'all.